Hello friend, and welcome back to Confident Leadership in Color. I'm so glad that you're here, and can you believe it? It's only like 4 weeks left of this year, at least when I drop this episode. We're soon entering into that slightly confusing season where we start writing a new year number. This time it's 2026 instead of 2025. But it also comes with a positive twist. It gives us that natural sense of fresh start. So let's take that opportunity. I haven't done my own annual reflection yet, and maybe you haven't either. But I can already say this: my year didn't turn out exactly the way I envisioned it back in January. Some things grew, become even more bigger, and some things stalled. And something surprised me a lot. There was actually a lot of that. And that's life, isn't it? It's a mix of intention, reality, and everything in between. Maybe you're one of the new listeners to join in recently. Extra warm welcome to you. I'm Hanna. I'm a leadership coach, and I truly and genuinely love to help people to see the possibilities they already carry. Maybe they have not seen it yet. A few days ago, a friend said to me, "It's like fires are being lit around you." I thought that was such a beautiful way to describe what coaching can be. Blowing gently on a spark, watching it come alive, and helping people to create warmth, clarity, and joy. Since Christmas is around the corner, I thought, what better theme to explore that one of the most central words of that season, which is hope. What does hope have to do with leadership, you might wonder? Why does it matter so much, especially now, when our time is so often described as uncertain, complex, and sometimes even tipping into chaos? Let's explore that.
Inside of you.
Last week I attended a future trend talk, a sort of wrap up where this society is heading right now, or could be described. And let me tell you, it was not exactly uplifting. Our current environment was described as uncertainty plus complexity, which is equaling or tipping in towards chaos. Another concept they used was the meteorite society, meaning trends flash by like shooting stars. They appear, explode, and vanish before we even get a chance to long for anything. And yes, today we rarely wait. If we want something, we buy it. And if we feel uncomfortable, we distract ourselves instantly. And in that circle of instant gratifications, we lose two deeply human capacities, which is longing and daydreaming. Yeah, was actually what the speaker said, that we have lost longing and daydreaming. That idea of sitting with a desire for a while, letting it grow, shape us, inspire us. And the speaker claimed that we also never get lost anymore due to the apps. Physically, that's probably true, but mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually, from what I see in social media and news, I would actually say that we are more lost than ever. Yes, it's a generalization, but the uncertainty of our time is pushing more and more people to explore deeper questions about meaning, identity, and direction. When I was preparing the outline for this episode, I was sitting actually in the church I'm part of, early for a leadership meeting where I serve as one of the two chairpersons. And as I sat there, I reflected on this actually about longing, daydreaming. For me, longing is deeply connected to hope. This time of year, Advent, is literally a season of waiting, longing, and hope. Already more than 1,000 years before the arrival of Messiah, the Bible contains statements about his coming. And even though Jesus was born over 2 millennia ago, the essence of Advent is still about hope, about believing that something good is on its way. So no, I don't agree that longing and hope have disappeared. If anything, the quiet desire we carry for a meaningful future might be more important now than ever. Earlier this year, if I remember correctly, it was like in February, Gallup published the Global Leadership Report, What Followers Want. More than 72,000 people across 52 countries, meaning representing the world's adult population, were asked 2 simple questions. The first one was, which leader has the most positive influence on your daily life? The second one was, which 3 words best describe what this person contributes to your life? And the result? Across every country, culture, and type of leader, one theme dominated: hope. 56% of all attributes mentioned were connected to hope. Then came trust on 33%. 7% it was talked about compassion, and then 4% on stability. Hope is the universal human leadership need. Research also shows that people who experience hope perform better at work, in sports, in schools. It influences both physical and mental well-being. And here's the beautiful part. Hope in leaders, that spread. It creates well-being, it builds resilience, it inspires performance and impact, not through pressure, but through beliefs. It's quite interesting, isn't it? And actually incredibly hopeful insights from those research. So it raises an important question. How can you and I be that person? Someone who creates that hope instead of spreading uncertainty. A leader who contributes with hope, trust, compassion, and stability. Not just in theory, but in practice. I truly believe it's possible to build this into who we are and what we do. What do you think? And to explore that, I want to start with the one thing you and I can do and what we actually can control, ourselves. So the question I want to explore with you right now is, how do I cultivate hope within myself? A hope that also can be spread. Here are 3 places I often start with when I work with myself and my clients. The first one is bring your vision to life. Make it tangible. Make it shared. Hope strengthens when it becomes something we hold together. In Swedish, the word expectation or anticipation is förväntan. If you break it apart, it can almost be read like to be waiting. A vision is actually that, anticipation of a different future, something worth waiting for. When I looked up the synonyms for expectation and anticipation, I found words like possibility, hope, intention, confidence, joy, trust. Almost all of them had a positive character. Only fear appeared as the opposite. So when you bring your vision to life, you build hope for the future. And that builds confidence, both in you and in those you lead. The second part that I work with is to make small tests, to gather evidence. Hope grows through evidence. Each piece of evidence that increases the likelihood that your vision is achievable. Even if that test fails, it provides valuable information, valuable learnings about which path not to take, helping you to update your way forward. It doesn't need to be big either. One tiny step, one micro experiment one test throw, as I also have put it. Maybe part of your vision as a leader is to speak confidently on a stage for a large audience. If that's the case, look for evidence in others. Find someone you trust, someone who has done it before, who is doing it. Ask questions, be curious, and I promise you, even the most confident speaker were once beginner and maybe didn't feel as confident at the start. And while you're at it, consider asking that person if they would be willing to mentor or coach you. That gives you an accountability partner too, which increases your likelihood to succeed even more. Third thing is to learn to redirect your focus intentionally. Are you spending your energy on what you can influence or on what you cannot? Because hope thrives where agency lives. For me, when I get stuck, it's usually because I zoomed in too hard on the obstacles. I've gone too far down the rabbit hole of tiny details or focused on what others should or shouldn't have done. But as soon as I shift my focus back to what's in my control and lift my gaze towards the bigger picture, I return to a more constructive state. I can find new solutions and I find new tests to try. And when I find it especially difficult to get back into a hopeful headspace, I intentionally check my current state. Am I in a crash state or a creative, constructive one? If I'm in a crash state, the first step is to shift into a more resourceful state. This is one of the things I teach my clients as well, because it's incredibly useful. And it can just take a few seconds to shift into something more supportive. Another thing that was stated on this presentation that I was listening to is that young people today want the long-term perspective rather than this short-term. That's 5 to 7 years, not just the next quarter. And I think that resonates with many of us right now. As you and I stand here right at the threshold between closing 2025 and stepping into 2026, here's my invitation to you. Make a space for your longing. Strengthen your sense of possibility. Reconnect with your vision, the one that gives you hope. Whether it's your personal vision or your organization's, give yourself the gift of looking forward with intention, because hope is not naive, it's a leadership skill. And the more you cultivate it, the more confident and grounded you become. I've lit a lot of candles in the studio today, of course, to get that Advent feeling. It's also how beautiful a candle represents both hope and leadership, because one single flame can light up the whole room, even the darkest one. And it can ignite other candles too. It brings warmth, joy, and hope. Actually, part of my vision and also business plan, I have put down a verse that inspired me also when I chose the name for this podcast. That verse is also talking about being a light. It's from the Message translation of the Bible in Matthew 5:14, where it says, here's another way to put it. You're here to be a light, bringing out the God colors in the world. If you have been listening on me from the beginning, you also know that I have a history growing up in a family where my father is a paint shop owner. So yeah, that is of course part of why I'm extra interested in colors and how that has been part of who I am. But I like this description from the Message because it also shines light on the fact that each one of us has our own colors. And for me, being coach and leader, I can help someone to show their colors much more brighter and clearer than before. So be that candle for someone today and for tomorrow. Show your leadership by spreading light and hope into the rooms you are entering and the spaces you are part of. Helping someone to shine and reveal their unique colors. And by passing on warmth, joy, and hope as you go. Next week, we'll go deeper into gathering the year behind us and creating solid footing into entering 2026 with more clarity and more confidence. I would love to hear your reflection on today's episode. What came up for you as you listened? You're always welcome to comment or send a message. And if you haven't yet followed the podcast, make sure hit follow so you don't miss any of the next episodes. I will be posting each week, even though it's Christmas and New Year's Eve. As always, you find more tools and helpful links in the show notes. If you'd like to support in creating a vision that genuinely fills you with hope, direction, and courage, get in touch. Most of my coaching happens actually online, so geographically, it's never a barrier. Until next time, be confident, be you.